Hello students, in the last class I explained about the transverse section of dicot stem. Now in this class I am going to explain about the transverse section of monocot stem. Okay, so when we take the transverse section of a monocot stem and observe it under microscope, we can see this type of structure, which is the ground plan of monocot stem. This is the ground plan of monocot stem. Ground plan, and in its transverse section it consists of different types of tissues. So to observe different types of tissues present in its transverse section, we have to observe one side, one area of this ground plan of the transverse section of monocot stem. This area or this area or this area, like this we have to observe. So this is one area of the ground plan of the transverse section of monocot stem. Okay. So in its transverse section, monocot stem consists of tissues called epidermis, hypodermis and ground tissue. In this ground tissue, vascular bundles are scattered. Many vascular bundles are scattered. I just repeat, in the transverse section of monocot stem, it consists of epidermis, hypodermis and ground tissue. This ground tissue is undifferentiated ground tissue, which is not differentiated into cortex, pericycle and pith, right? Okay, in this undifferentiated ground tissue, many vascular bundles are scattered. So, these are the tissues. Let's study these tissues one by one. Okay, epidermis. So, epidermis is the outermost layer of this monocot stem. Anyway, epidermis is the outermost layer of all plant organs, and this epidermis is made up of thin-walled cells, thin-walled parenchymatous cells which are compactly arranged without any intercellular spaces, without forming any intercellular spaces inside the epidermis. And this epidermis is covered by a thick cuticle. We know what is cuticle. Cuticle is made of a substance, waxy substance called cutin, which is secreted by the epidermal cells. And this cuticle helps in reducing the rate of transpiration, right? And so what can we say? This epidermis of monocot stem is cuticularized epidermis or cuticularized epidermis. Okay. Next, coming to trichomes. In case of monocot stem, epidermis is without trichomes, without extra growths. Okay. In case of dicot stem, trichomes are present on the epidermis of dicot stem. Here, trichomes are absent. Now, coming to hypodermis. The tissue which is present just below the epidermis is called as hypodermis. This hypodermis is few layered, that is 3 to 5 layered, and this hypodermis is made up of sclerenchymatous tissue or sclerenchymatous cells which provides mechanical support to this monocot stem. In case of dicot stem, hypodermis is made up of collenchymatous cells which provides mechanical support. Here, hypodermis is made up of sclerenchymatous cells which provides mechanical support. Epidermis is parenchymatous, hypodermis is sclerenchymatous. In epidermis also, in hypodermis also, there are no intercellular spaces. Function of epidermis is to provide protection and function of hypodermis is to provide mechanical support to the stem, monocot stem, right? Below this hypodermis, ground tissue is present. So this is all ground tissue except vascular bundles, right? And this ground tissue is undifferentiated ground tissue. Why it is undifferentiated? Because it is not differentiated into cortex, pericycle and pith. Hence it is called as undifferentiated ground tissue. This undifferentiated ground tissue, it is made of parenchymatous cells. It is made of parenchymatous cells, right? And which are thin-walled cells. In this undifferentiated ground tissue, many vascular bundles are present. These vascular bundles are not present in the form of ring as in case of dicot stem. In case of dicot stem, what we studied? Vascular bundles are arranged in the form of ring. So, arrangement of vascular bundles in the form of ring is called as eustele, which is the characteristic feature of dicot stem. Here, vascular bundles are scattered inside the ground tissue, which is undifferentiated ground tissue, and these vascular bundles are scattered. So, presence of scattered vascular bundles is called as atactostele. So, what is this called? Stele. What is the stele called? Atactostele. Atactostele, that is Presence of scattered vascular bundles in the stele is called as atactostele. Right? In case of dicot stem, stele is eustele. In case of monocot stem, stele is atactostele. Right? And here the vascular bundles are dissimilar in size. They are not similar in size. Whereas in dicot stem, vascular bundles which are arranged in the form of ring are almost similar in size. But here they are dissimilar in size. The vascular bundles which are present towards periphery are smaller in size. The vascular bundles which are present towards center are larger in size. And one more thing, vascular bundles towards periphery, the vascular bundles, more number of vascular bundles are present. That means they are densely, the vascular bundles are dense towards periphery. Towards center, the vascular bundles are not dense, they are loose. Right? Like 1, 2, 3 or 4 vascular bundles are present towards center, whereas towards periphery, many vascular bundles are present which are smaller in size. Towards center, few vascular bundles are present which are larger in size. Okay, and these vascular bundles are almost oval in shape, oval in outline, whereas in case of dicot stem, vascular bundles are wedge shaped, wedge, W-E-D-G-E, wedge shaped. Here vascular bundles are almost oval in outline. And now let's see what type of vascular bundles are present. I am writing here what type of vascular bundles are present. So the type of vascular bundles present in monocot stem are conjoint, open type, closed type, conjoint, closed type of vascular bundles which are with end-arc type of xylem. What is conjoint vascular bundle? The name itself is suggesting conjoint means both the xylem, phloem and xylem. So this is phloem, this is the vascular bundle which is with phloem and xylem. So both phloem and xylem are joined together to form one vascular bundle. Hence this is called conjoint vascular bundle. Why it is called closed vascular bundle? Because there is no cambium. Cambium is absent in between phloem and xylem of the vascular bundle. So due to the absence of cambium, it is called as closed vascular bundle because the growth has been closed. Further growth, that is secondary growth, will not occur due to the absence of cambium. Hence these vascular bundles are called closed vascular bundles. And why it is called end-arc type of xylem? Because protoxylem. So this is protoxylem, this is metaxylem. Protoxylem is present towards center and metaxylem is present towards periphery, and hence it is called as end-arc type of xylem. So this is protoxylem, and this is metaxylem. First formed xylem which is with narrow vessels and with small sized vessels with narrow lumen, whereas metaxylem consists of large sized xylem elements with broad lumen. So protoxylem is present towards center and metaxylem is towards periphery. So as the protoxylem is towards center, it is called as what type of xylem? End-arc type of xylem, right? So vascular bundles are conjoined, closed type of vascular bundles which are with end-arc type of xylem. As they are closed type of vascular bundles, there is no secondary growth in monocot stem. Right? And one more characteristic feature of monocot stem is presence of bundle sheath cells. So around each and every vascular bundle, thick walled sclerenchymatous cells are present in the form of Wirth. These thick walled sclerenchymatous cells are bundle sheath cells. So presence of bundle sheath cells around vascular bundles is also another characteristic feature of dicot stem. One characteristic feature is the presence of scattered vascular bundles, that is atactostele is one characteristic feature. Another one is presence of thick walled cells, that is sclerenchymatous bundle sheath cells around the vascular bundles is second characteristic feature of monocot stem. Characteristic feature of dicot stem is eustelic stele, presence of vascular bundles in the form of ring which is called eustele. Presence of eustele is characteristic feature of dicot stem which is not seen in any other organ. Right. So this is about the transverse section of monocot stem. I just want to give a quick recap. So when we observe the transverse section of monocot stem, what we can observe? We can see Three types of tissues, especially epidermis, hypodermis and ground tissue. Epidermis is single layered and parenchymatous covered by cuticle, but trichomes are absent. Hypodermis is few layered, 3 to 5 layered, made of sclerenchymatous tissue which provides mechanical support and without intercellular spaces. Ground tissue, parenchymatous, and in this ground tissue is undifferentiated, which is not differentiated into cortex, pericycle and pith, right? And in this ground tissue, vascular bundles are scattered. Vascular bundles present towards periphery are smaller in size, towards center are larger in size, right? And these vascular bundles are surrounded by sclerenchymatous cells called bundle sheath cells. So presence of bundle sheath cells around the vascular bundles is a characteristic feature, and presence of bundle sheath cells, sclerenchymatous bundle sheath cells are present around vascular bundles. These vascular bundles are also called as fibrovascular bundles. I just repeat, due to the presence of sclerenchymatous bundle sheath cells around the vascular bundles, these vascular bundles present in monocot stem are also called as fibrovascular bundles, right? Okay. So in these vascular bundles in the xylem, water containing cavities are present. These water containing cavities are also called as schizolysigenous cavities. Why they are called schizolysigenous cavities? Because some of the primary xylem elements, some of the xylary elements present in protoxylem of the primary xylem. In monocot stem only primary xylem is present. Secondary xylem is anyway absent. So some of the xylary elements of protoxylem present in this primary xylem undergo lysis, burst. They undergo lysis by bursting and they undergo death. So after lysis, these cells which have undergone lysis fuse together to form a cavity called schizolysigenous cavity. Lysigenous because these cavities are formed by the lysis of some of the primary xylem elements. Schizolysigenous because after lysis they are fused to form cavities. Hence they are called as schizolysigenous cavities. These cavities are involved in storage of water. And one more important thing in monocot stem is in the phloem of monocot stem, phloem parenchyma is absent. So phloem parenchyma is completely absent. So what are the tissues that are absent in monocots? Phloem parenchyma is completely absent. Collenchyma is absent. Here collenchyma is also absent. Collenchyma is absent and even cambium, that is lateral meristems, are absent. So this is all about monocot stem, and in the next class I will be giving differences between the dicot stem and monocot stem. Hope you understood this concept. Thank you, students.